Just imagine being trapped in a place where you have no food, no water, and no one around to hear your cries for help, asterisk. You sit there every moment, waiting for a miracle to happen and save you. This is not a work of fiction. This is the true story of 28-year-old Purna, who was trapped in a closed room for 97 days. Purna's world revolved around her husband, Vikram, asterisk. Purna's world revolved around her husband, Vikram, asterisk. From the outside, they looked like the perfect couple, but behind the walls of their luxurious home, a dark, ugly truth was hiding. Vikram was having an affair with another woman, and Purna had become an obstacle in his path. Unaware of his sinister intentions, Purna happily agreed. The car left behind the hustle and bustle of the city and drove down a lonely, deserted road. After a while, they stopped in front of an old, ruined house. Purna asked in confusion, "Why are we here?" Vikram smiled and said, "Come inside. Your surprise is waiting." As soon as Purna stepped into a damp, musty room in the house, the door slammed shut behind her with a loud noise. The sound of the lock clicking sent shivers down her spine. She screamed, but Vikram had already left her there, to die slowly in that dark room. The man she had loved with all her heart had just handed her over to death. The room was pitch dark, with only a thin beam of light coming through a crack in the wall. Purna began pounding on the door with all her strength. She screamed, called for help, but her voice only echoed back in the emptiness and faded away. The first day was filled with fear, helplessness, and the poison of betrayal by her own husband. She sat on the floor and cried. Uncontrollably, she couldn't understand what mistake she had made. Shivering, she searched every corner of the room and found a small packet of flour and half a bottle of water, probably enough for 4 or 5 days. This was her only hope for survival in that endless wait. That night, she slept on the cold, dirty floor, knowing that the most terrifying battle of her life had just begun. Second day, third, fourth, time seemed to stop. Purna mixed the flour with water and made tiny balls of dough, eating just one each day. Soon, even the water ran out. On the 5th day, she finished her last piece of dough. Now hunger roared inside her like a beast. Her throat was dry and parched. She felt extremely weak, darkness clouding her vision. One night, the sky turned black and heavy rain began to pour. Hope lit up her tired face. She grabbed a broken pot lying in the room and held it against the wall crack to collect the rainwater. When the drops started filling the pot, it felt like a celebration to her. She strained the dirty water through her torn scarf and drank it. By the 15th day, hunger had become unbearable. She was lying down when she saw a rat running across the floor. She made up her mind, gathering all her remaining strength. She struggled for hours until she finally caught the rat. Her hands trembled, and she felt like vomiting, but hunger had killed her fear and disgust. As she took the first bite, tears streamed down her face, not of sorrow, but of the price she was paying to stay alive. If you're still watching this video, I know this story has touched your heart. You can feel Purna's pain. If that's the case, please like this video and subscribe to our channel so we can bring you more stories like this. Comment below what you think about Purna's courage, and don't forget to hit the new hype button next to the comment section. Your support is our biggest strength. Now, let's get back to Purna's story. Days turned into weeks and weeks into months. Purna had now learned how to survive in this hell. She collected rainwater, caught rats, or any insects she could find to eat. On the 30th day, her battle turned even more dangerous when a small snake crawled into the room from the corner. Purna screamed in fear, but quickly composed herself. This was do or die. She picked up a heavy stone lying nearby and smashed it on the snake's head with all her might. She had conquered her greatest fear because her will to live had now become greater than any fear. That night, she cooked and ate the snake. She was no longer just a helpless woman. She had become a warrior who would go to any length to survive. By 60 days, 2 months, Purna had stopped banging on the door or screaming. Her energy was completely gone. She just sat quietly in one corner, staring into the darkness with sunken eyes. The flame of hope was almost extinguished. Her body had withered into just skin and bones. She often thought about her old life, laughing with friends, walking through the market, sipping tea in her balcony. It all now felt like a dream. Sometimes she felt like giving up, ending the pain once and for all. By the 80th day, her condition had become critical. One day, she collapsed on the floor from hunger and weakness. When she regained consciousness, everything was spinning around her. She got angry at herself for being so weak. She dragged herself to the wall, sat down, and drank a few drops of dirty water left in the pot. On the 90th day, while trying to catch a rat, it bit her hand. Blood started dripping from the wound, but Purna didn't back off. Ignoring the pain, she caught the rat anyway. Her entire body was breaking apart, but her spirit was still fighting. She knew the end was near. Either she would win, or death would. By the 95th day, she was almost knocking on death's door. She didn't even have the strength to sit up. Her breathing was slow and shallow. She had nearly given up hope, certain this was her end.